58, 59. Lost count. Eight, 59. Lost count. Eight, 59. Lost count.
BattleAxTheater contains vaping, which is not as cool as smoking, vulgar language, which is not as cool as nudity, and drinking, which is sort of cool. In other words, viewer discretion is advised.
BattleAxTheater, that's a good name.
BattleAx, man, he brought the preach video.
BattleAxTheater.
Death from BattleAx. I don't know if you guys have seen, he just rants, and it's awesome. And he just starts screaming and yelling. I need to have a beer with that guy.
Is this thing on?
Yo!
What is up?
It's been forever, dude.
A minute. It has been a minute. What is up, everybody? My name is Punk Shoe. I'm here with my boy Def, who's over on this side now.
Yep, I'm over here.
Hi, Def.
Hey, how's it going?
We are BattleAxTheater, and we are live again for the first time since October. We are happy to be back, and we've got a little bit of a show prepared for this evening, a little bit of a different flow of things, if you will. And we've got some new segments and things that we're going to be doing. And tonight's podcast or vodcast, whatever the hell you want to call this thing, kind of a little bit of a spoiler alert there. we're going to be talking a little bit about what's to be happening with Battle Axe going forward in the near future. Some things that we're going to be doing here. Talk a little bit about what we're going to be looking to cover on the podcast and our Vodcast, or both, whatever. God, I can't keep my mouth shut.
Man, yeah, you keep spoiling stuff.
So yeah, welcome back, everybody. I'm really glad to have you all here. We're both glad to have all of you guys here. Looks like we've got a good number of viewers, man.
Yeah, heck yeah. Thanks for not forgetting about us. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, we've been gone a minute, and we're sorry about that, and we're sorry about missing the end of year stream, but we've put in a lot of work to try to develop a good platform for you guys here going forward. So as you can see, things are structured a little bit differently than in the past. And speaking of which, I think we should maybe get moving forward. So just
Talk
like
about the past a little bit.
yeah, maybe. So just like we used to always do, we are a Monday stream, not a Friday stream. So we've kind of got to talk about what we did last week, because we can't talk about what we're doing this week. We got to kind of go back in the past, and that kind of, if you've been around a little bit, you know what segment this is. This is our week in rear view. It's the weekend rear view. Woo, doggy!
Woo, doggy.
Woo, doggy! Yeah.
Well,
that's our new intro to the segment of the weekend rear view. This is a segment where we talk a little bit about what we did for the last week. We kind of take a little bit of a dip outside of just what we do with Bat and what we've kind of been doing in our personal lives, but not too personal. So you want to start off, Def? What have you been up to?
well, last week was kind of boring. Let's see. Oh, well, I did do the We're Back video, if you want to call it that. And then I did the promo for Bat Live returning.
Mm-hmm.
But through our months and months off, I went and saw Tom Segura in Austin, which, by the way, his news, I don't know if we have any Tom Segura fans, but his Netflix special comes out March 24th. So I might be on Netflix, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
I don't know if the
for that
camera
one.
got me, but I was like, I was trying to be like, ah! Went and saw Tool, the greatest band on the planet. I know Minus is in here, so he needs to hear that. Went and saw Louis C.K. I've been getting myself out there, seeing that there is a world outside of gaming sometimes,
Yeah, there definitely is.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
So that whole old saying about, it's got the best graphics but the worst gameplay. That whole thing about real life.
So true, man. You're riding in your mount, and then you get all tired from riding so long. It sucks, man. You can't really. An energy drink would be like a mana potion that you crash later. It's just no fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you do anything else that you want to talk about? Something that you may have done last week?
Last week.
Well, you did a guest appearance on
I was on Pantheon Plus You. That's right. I was going to mention that. Thanks for the reminder, brother. I was on Pantheon Plus You. It was a real fun show. We talked about tanks, which, as you know, I love talking tanks. And Warriors did not win the vote. I'm a little upset about that. But if you guys want to check it out, it's on Pantheon Plus's YouTube page. But yeah, Warriors didn't win. I'm kind of bitter, a little bit.
That is disappointing, because Warriors just seem like the best.
Yeah, definitely. But not everybody agreed.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. I've been playing Destiny 2. Been cracked out on Crucible and Gambit. And now I'm trying.
We've been doing a little bit of that Destiny 2 lately, guys. Sorry.
And I'm not sorry. I love the PvP. And then I've been trying to get into PvP in Guild Wars 2, but we've been gone so long, I don't remember where to start. So I was telling you that last night, trying to get into Guild Wars 2 again. I hope I can break through that. And
I hope you can break through that too, man. Because that PvP just looks so much fun, you know?
Yeah, especially with the new balance update that's come out. But
yeah,
we'll check it out.
So is that it? You want me to talk about what I did?
Yeah, what'd you do, bruh?
I've been doing a whole lot of nothing. No, that's not true. So you guys know that I build PCs. I'm trying to become like a legitimate system integrator, if you will. You know, like an iBuyPower, CyberPower, something like that. But you got to start small somewhere. So right now I'm in the local business, and I've been growing that quite a bit. I've been extremely busy doing commission builds and things like that, and that's growing a bit for me. I ordered a bunch of stuff to redo in my office, so we'll have a BattleAxe video coming up about that here pretty soon. All that stuff actually came in today before the stream, but I want to do it before and after, so we'll be working on that this week, and maybe we'll have something for you in the next week or so with that remodel of the office, aka my dining room.
You better put up a video, bro.
I fully intend to. But that's pretty much it. I've had a lot of interesting used hardware come through my table. Some stuff that I've never been able to work with before. If any of you guys are PC nerds, I got to work with the X58 platform recently, which came out like 2010. Was really prominent around 2012. What's up?
Is that better than the G57?
I hate you. Yeah, it's better than the G57, bro.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's cool. Like I got to work with some older Xeon processors and do some overclocking, and it's pretty amazing how those have held up over the years. So I've been really excited about that. And of course, Def and I have been hard at work creating these segments and kind of formulating what we're going to do with BattleAxe going forward. So that's been really fun. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing in the recent past. Def, you want to... What's up?
You came down, man.
I did. I went to Texas to visit a few weeks ago. I forgot about that.
And we were going to work on bat stuff, and I think we just watched a lot of TV, and we played some games.
We played some games, and we watched some TV, and we had barbecue.
Yeah.
And we talked about BattleAxe, and I think that was really, it was kind of a good...
That was needed.
It was a reflection period. It was something that was necessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. So what do you think? You want to move on to a new special segment that people aren't familiar with yet?
Sure.
All right, let's rock and roll this.
And now it's time for the Nerd News! Good evening, and thanks for tuning in to this part of the program where we discuss all things technology, comic books, film, art, and more.
All right.
Yes, it's time for the Nerd News!
Dude, I gotta say, dude, that cracks me up every time. Like, that's so good. Like,
I'm
like,
so dumb.
You're in your element right there, brother.
I'm so dumb. My element is dumb.
So you want to kick us off with the topics that you wanted to talk about tonight?
Yes. I don't know if anyone is comic book nerds or comic book movie nerds, but anybody in chat see the new Batman trailer, The Batman? Because to be honest, I don't know how I feel about it. Did you watch it?
I watched a little bit of it. I really wasn't concerned with the context. So something that I started to mention before the stream was Robert Pattinson, like, I think from an acting perspective is going to be fine as an actor, but he just doesn't have the physique to be a Batman. Like, he doesn't look like Batman.
All the comments on the trailer were like, Batman's weak, you know? And you had Ben Affleck, who did such an awesome, like, believe me, I was not, like, wanting Ben Affleck to be Batman, but
Same.
the dude pulled it off. Like,
Yeah, he did a really good job.
The movie sucked. Which we'll get into why all DC movies sucks, but Ben Affleck's Batman reminded me of when I was watching the old cartoon, the Fox animated series, where he's like, Alfred, we need to contact the source of the disease and track it down and blah blah blah, and then Batman goes and does that, you know.
Right.
Ben Affleck was kind of pulling that off, and he was jacked. He wasn't a little wimpy, what's his name, Robert Patterson figure. Yeah. He was a jacked figure, like me. But and Ben Affleck's Batman was all up in the shadows and stuff, like Batman should be, like he was a master of fighting and all that. But anyway, my thing is, I don't know how I feel about it. Yes, Ben did do better than Val. I think every Batman did better than Val Kilmer.
No, I would question though. Z says young Batman though. So is this new movie about young Batman?
I don't know. I didn't get really.
Because I haven't really looked into it all. I just watched the trailer and I had the volume turned down and I was multitasking while I watched it. So
here's my deal. All the DC films, they can't pick a direction they're going. And every movie, they try to cram so much into one film. That's why Justice League sucked. Suicide Squad sucked. Right. Birds of Prey just came out last month. I went and saw it. It sucked. And now we got The Batman coming out in June of next year. Shazam's coming out. I'm kind of excited for that. Aquaman was okay. The first Shazam movie was good. The only good thing DC has coming is Wonder Woman.
You say the first Shazam movie? Is there a new one coming out?
Yeah, there's a new Shazam coming out.
I thought that movie was pretty good.
It was. It's April 1st, 2022.
Oh, that's okay. That's a little bit away.
But we get Black Adam December 22nd, 2021. So
okay.
Yeah. Which Black Adam is going to be played by The Rock, which is Shazam's, nemesis. So that's cool.
That's going to be interesting.
But my point is if people don't know, I'm a DC fanboy, and I saw this new Batman trailer, and it just kind of, I wanted to like it. I want it to be good. And I don't know how many times DC has to show the origin story of Batman. Like, we get it, dude. Your parents are dead. Like, it doesn't have to be in every freaking Batman movie. So,
it's kind of like a Spider-Man arc, though, right? Like every different type of Spider-Man, you get the origin story, which is almost essentially the same in every different Spider-Verse, right? But
yeah, but we get it, dude. Like, like your uncle's gonna die. We get it, Spider-Man. Your uncle is a dead man. Like it. I don't know. But here's the thing, like. And I'm sorry I'm going on a bit of a rant, and this is probably going on a little longer. But dude, the Marvel track, you got Black Widow, you got the Loki movie coming out, Hawkeye. I would even watch Hawkeye, you know what I mean? You got Falcon, Winter Soldier, you got a new Doctor Strange, you got a new Thor called Love Thunder or Love of Thunder.
Love Thunder? That's Love Thunder, huh?
I mean, I would dig it.
Are we getting Marvel porn?
We'll have the link in the description below. Let me read that title. Okay, it's not pulling up. But anyway, my point is I'm just, we got this new Batman trailer, and I don't want to talk about the trailer. I don't want to spoil it, but it seems like they're going to cram too much into it. And that's going to piss me off.
So do you think that's what they're doing? Like, see, I get mad when, like, everything seems to be a trilogy now. Are you saying that you want them to expand, like, a concept and put it into multiple movies like they used to do the Batman movies back in the day?
Yeah.
Because you got more bite-sized stuff that you could consume and enjoy, and they could put more production into because they weren't trying to rush through a story. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they just try to rush. It's like trying to think of an example here. It's just every DC movie, like Birds of Prey, too many characters. Suicide Squad, too many characters. I mean, create an origins of the story and then continue with it. You know what I mean? Don't try to cram everything into one movie. Then it has no, I don't know, investment. You get it all at once.
I didn't think we needed a Suicide Squad movie. Like, I think Suicide Squad, Teen Titans, well, they're already doing that. And
I
Justice
heard
League,
Titans was good.
I want those to be shows because there's too much to
Yeah.
do in a single movie.
Suicide Squad show would be cool, but we get a new Suicide Squad movie August 6th, 2021. So
We'll see.
the only thing DC has looking forward to is Wonder Woman 1984, which is this year.
Nice. The Wonder Woman movie was pretty good, and Shazam was pretty good. Everything else DC, like Batman versus Superman, but anything else, like Henry Cavill made a great Superman.
Oh, he did. And,
But
and he
they
got
didn't do enough. They didn't do enough movies with him.
real quick though. We did not see the Snyder cut, Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League.
Okay.
So there's a lot of debate and people at each other's throat, and there's a petition, and I think they're going to do it. They're going to release Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. So that could have been awesome, but it has nothing on Avengers.
We'll see.
Anyway, that's all I got, man. I
Right.
should have warned you. It was kind of a bitch.
Yeah,
session.
I didn't know you were gonna get all bitchy on me, bro.
I'm sorry. It
It's
just
all good.
pissed me off. And I wanted to see what chat thought about the new Batman. Like, I just, yes, Crinkled. That was my hope. Is that Ben Affleck's Batman would be the older Batman, so then we could get a Batman Beyond.
You
or
just
we
want a
could get-
Nightwing. You just want a Nightwing.
You stole the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
Dude,
You fanboy.
We need a Nightwing movie.
Dude, I would
so
watch
bad.
it, bro. I would watch it.
Hell yeah, I would watch it.
All right. So speaking of chat, guys, we have switched over to a new broadcasting server, and I thought low latency was the mode that we wanted to use, but apparently we needed ultra low latency. So I do apologize. We're not ignoring you. We are just a good, it seems like 10 to 15 seconds behind. No, not that much. Maybe like 5. But we're a few seconds behind you guys, so we're not trying to ignore you. If you have anything you want to say, feel free to let us know in chat. And moving on here. So I've got a little bit of news that I want to cover myself. Mine aren't as in-depth or as fun as what Def had to say, but I think the stuff that I'd like to cover is kind of important. So many of you guys may be aware of the Game Developer Conference that takes place in San Francisco. It's like an industry-leading con. It's sort of like an E3, but more like focused on games and not so much like the hardware and stuff that's coming out around those. But the coronavirus has really kicked up, and the awareness has gone, nationwide or worldwide rather, and there are global concerns of it. So the Chinese, they shut down, they extended their New Year toward. They just started getting people back to work recently. So the GDC has been shut down. Because Microsoft, Sony, and Epic all pulled out of the conference, and because of growing concerns, they've gone ahead and they say a couple of articles have said permanently postponed, but others have said that it's postponed until they can come up with a time frame to do that. In addition to that, if you guys are looking to get into PC gaming hardware and stuff like that, the production, according to Linus Tech Tips, from one of his sources, at best, production is at like 40% right now. So if you guys are interested in getting any computer hardware, Linus and Jay's 2 Cents both did a video recently that basically said if you're thinking about pulling the trigger, pull the trigger, because we're going to start seeing a shortage of hardware here pretty soon, which is going to cause the prices to go up as well. So Def, if you're thinking about getting that new graphics card.
I am.
But yeah, so just be aware of that, guys. And so, Def, this one is a topic that I wanted to talk to you about that we brought up previously. And there's a link to all of these news articles in the description, guys, if you want to check them out. Earth has a new moon.
Yes, I read the article. I didn't read the article. I read the title of the article.
Well, I read an article the other day that I couldn't find that I thought was more like layman's perspective presentable. But the one that I posted by CNN kind of has some of the gist of it. So basically, on a fairly regular basis, so it's not like irregular, it's not like a new thing. Sometimes stuff will get stuck in our orbit. and it'll stay there, and then it'll eventually just get ejected or whatever. But this
All the
particular
trash we put out into the atmosphere.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
that's real bad, but just larger objects that appear to have come from space. Well, in this particular instance, there's an object known as 2020 CD3 that was discovered by 2 researchers from the Catalina Sky Survey, and they've observed this large object, and they don't know, they said it could be a satellite, but I didn't really understand if they meant like satellite like from us, or a satellite, which means just an object from space. So, but they said it's about the size, it's a small satellite, but by judging by the way that it's orbiting right now, it's actually been in the Earth's orbit for 3 years. Now, the other article I read said 1.5 years, but that's the only reason why it's like really becoming a big deal right now, because it's been in the orbit for so long. Things don't normally stay up there for like a year plus. What's up?
But we've known about it for that long?
From my understanding, we've known about it it was first observed like a year ago, but the article by CNN is saying that they've projected that it's been there for roughly 3 years.
Well, I mean, because it said it's the size of a car.
Mm-hmm.
So is it Elon Musk's Tesla floating around us, or no?
That's kind of an eerie thought if you think about it, because the Tesla was sent up in a spacecraft and it was destined from Mars, and if it's come back and it's irrecognizable, then there might be some devious alien friends out there in outer space somewhere.
Speaking of, I'm not trying to get off topic, dude, but guys, watch The Expanse. That's what I did last week, man. I forgot to mention that in the review. I watched The Expanse. Holy shitballs. Such a good show. I know you're the one that kept telling me to finish it, but
yeah,
such a good show. If you love space and if you got time to binge watch a show, The Expanse is
so good. Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite shows right now, and I
It's
think
up
it's
there.
dude, we're going to be talking about that coming up in the future. I would like to do an episode dedicated to that, and we'll talk about that a little bit more here in a few minutes, guys. I've got a couple other things that I wanted to mention. Just real quick one here. Casey Hudson, the general manager of BioWare, says that Anthem, if you guys are looter shooter, Flyboy fans, I personally really enjoyed Anthem, but the late game sucked and it wasn't fun, so I stopped playing. But Casey Hudson has acknowledged this and said, over the last year, the team has worked hard to improve stability, performance, and general quality of life. All right, so if you guys have played the game, you remember how jank it was. Like when it first launched, it was like super jank. And they kept doing little hot fixes that kind of made us feel like we were getting improvements, but really it was just hindering the people that weren't having problems. Well, anyway, they've improved the experience a little bit, but it goes on further to say that they've also heard our feedback that Anthem needs more satisfying loot experience, better long-term progression, a more fulfilling endgame. And he didn't go on to explain exactly what they were going to do to address it, but in the article that's listed, he does mention that that is one thing that they're going to be looking forward to this year, is revamping the systems, revamping the seasons, and maybe moving away from that a little bit, and fixing up the game. And I'm really excited for that because I'm hoping that it comes back and I can enjoy it, because I really, really enjoyed playing my Interceptor.
That's awesome to hear, because I will say the gameplay is so freaking fun, being in a mech suit and you're just
so awesome.
Raining carnage, and it's fun, but there was no, I don't know.
Well, it's like you went to Grandmaster 1 and it was easier to farm gear in Grandmaster 1, and you got better chances at loot because you were able to kill things more efficiently than if you went into Grandmaster 3. So you weren't really progressing. You would go into more difficult content, but you weren't having a higher turnover in gear. And when you're playing a looter shooter, it's all about those gear drops, right? Like when we play Destiny, you're getting gear that just falls out of the sky almost constantly, and you just kind of throw away and then upgrade the good stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And the last topic here is still a gaming topic, and you guys are all probably pretty excited about this. How about that trailer for Baldur's Gate 3?
So good.
I'm really excited for it. Baldur's Gate, the original one, was one of the first games that I had ever played on PC back in 1999. And it was really fun, and I played the crap out of it. And there was no RNG. It was all just straightforward, this item would be in this box. And I had a lot of fun with it. But I'm really excited for what's to come with the Baldur's Gate 3. So basically, it was debuted at E3 2019, and people were like, well, when's it going to be ready? And then the CEO basically said, it's going to be ready when it's ready. And he says verbatim, we want to make sure it's really, really good. When that's the case, then we'll release it. And the fact that we're getting the trailer right now is kind of bringing up my hopes for the release of this. And it's pretty cool. It's going to take place. It's going to take place in the current era of Forgotten Realms. And I'm a little disconnected from D&D right now, so I'm not really sure what's the current era in Forgotten Realms. But for you D&D players out there, you should be familiar with that. And Hasbro has stated that they're expecting the game to be early access sometime in 2020. So that's this year. We should be getting early access to Baldur's Gate, which is cool. You're going to be able to play Fighter, Wizard, Rogue, Ranger, Cleric, and Warlock. And you get 2 archetypes per class. So that's going to be pretty neat too. So check out the article that I posted. It has a little bit of information, and I'm sure you can find more information from other sources out there.
Well, I got to say, one of my favorite gaming moments was playing, I think it was Baldur's Gate 2?
Dark Alliance.
Man, me and my brother played that, hours and hours. It was so fun. I was a dwarf guy. I think he was a ranger guy.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it was so long ago. I barely remember it, but I remember calling him up, dude, we got to do that again. That was fun.
Dude, yeah, it was super fun.
There was a Lord of the Rings game too, not the MMO, but where it was kind of the same thing, where you'd be the ranger, and then it was kind of like an updated version of what was that game? Gauntlet?
Yeah.
But, with modern day graphics and stuff, it was so good. So good.
I'll have to look into that, because I've always just dismissed the Lord of the Rings games. I've heard really good things about them, but I don't generally like to play video games that are based off movies and stories, if you will. That kind of have their own origin, if you will. Like, they take things from that universe and expand upon it. But yeah. All right, so that's our nerd news. If you guys have any other types of topics you would like for us to discuss in the future, let us know in the comments when this thing goes into a VOD. Shoot us a text if you want. I forgot to do all of that stuff at the beginning, so we'll get to that at the end, where we'll give you our information to get in touch with us. But
972-821. Oh, nope. That was the wrong number.
Anyway, we'll get to that at the end of the stream here. Def, if you would, I'm new to the number. If you could toss that into our show notes, I'd appreciate that, so that way we can read it off at the end.
I got our number now, though.
All right. Well, wait, hold it to the end, guys.
Okay.
But if there are any news topics that you would like us to cover, let us know. That's one of the things we're going to start incorporating, is just kind of little tidbits here and there. So moving on to our main topic of this evening, it's us. And this is a segment that would be called, we're going to call this our meat and taters. And we don't have a segment transition for this, so hopefully we'll have something in the near future, because Def and I had plans for one, but they didn't quite work out, so we've got to revisit the drawing table on that. But this is a segment, the meat and taters, where we talk about what we came here to talk about tonight. What are we talking about tonight, Def?
Well, I feel sorry for the viewers, but it's us. It's just the future of Bat, and it's what we've been working on and things we have in store. Let me get my show notes pulled up over here. You want to start us off?
I mean, I can, yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that while I get my...
Yeah, am I going to do that?
Yeah.
All right, so as we have stated before, BattleAxe, us, Def, and myself, well, it's just the two of us right now, but we took a little bit of a break, and we kind of sat back and kind of thought about what we were doing. We tried the Project Gorgon season thing, and it worked out really well, but we've really been thinking about, we're kind of in this MMO corner, and we want to do a lot more with what we have available to us. We've got hardware, we've got software, we've got things that we can do outside of just talking about MMORPGs. And one thing that we set out to do with BattleAxTheater initially was to talk about multiplayer games as a whole, because it's something that we love to do. But, you know, as we grow older, we have other interests and things that we would like to talk about. And there are certain things that boost engagement, if you will, and get us kind of creative juices flowing as artists. And so we kind of wanted to start doing some other things. So we said, hey, what we're going to do from now on is when we produce BattleAxTheater content, actual videos, produced videos, we want them to not necessarily be on a particular time crunch or a timeline. We want them to be something that we can fully flesh out, get the factual materials for you guys, and actually share that information in a presentable way that is not only entertaining, but is also chock full of information as well. So that's something that we're going to be doing going forward in the future. We're also going to have some more fun, silly bits, just experimental type content that we're going to do, as the main focus of BattleAxTheater is currently shifting toward our BattleAx Live.
Yeah, I was just going to say BattleAx, even though our content won't be going out, let's say every Friday like it used to, BattleAx Live will happen every Monday, unless it's a holiday. I doubt we'd be doing this on Christmas or something, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we would figure something else out in that. We might postpone it or move it or whatever. But yeah, BattleAx, like what we did is we did 14 episodes before, and then we took an extensive break. And what we want to do is kind of break it up into running for a few months, back to back to back, have a couple of weeks off, and then resume right again. So essentially it would be like 2 to 3 seasons a year, which would be cool. Yeah. And, maybe mix things up a little bit in between. It all depends, but we are really focusing on this. And one of the reasons why we're focusing on this is because we're planning on moving to other platforms as well. And Def, would you mind telling people what we're going to be doing with the BattleAx format?
Well, you kind of already did, bro. We're going to be a podcast. When would that go out, though?
So one of the plans that we have talked about, and I guess you don't remember, is we're going to be shifting things around a little bit. We are coming up on 1,000 subs. We do want to celebrate with that a little bit. We want to get our Patreon up and running for you guys who do want to support us, because we have been asked about that in the past. So there are some things that we want to look into is, different Patreon tiers, merchandising, the website. And one of the things that we can offer, I think, is early access to podcasts and Vodcast VODs. So going forward, I'm not sure how we're going to handle this one, since this is just kind of a basic one. But our Vodcast is no longer going to be live on Mondays. It will be available later on in the week. And the podcast will be the same. However, for those of you who are patrons, you will have access to our content on essentially the very next morning or later the evening after the original live stream. So that's what we're going to do, is to kind of incentivize that a little bit. We do plan on adding like an after party, if you will, to this, because I know that we noticed that every time we finished up streaming in the past, if we had a really good topic that we were discussing, we kind of had to move on because we only had an hour to work in. Go ahead.
And it kept going. Like once we're wrapping up the show, like the conversation would really start to take off a chat.
Yeah, and it's we want to continue that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Have an after party after the stream. You can pop in the Discord, and then we can just chat and just have an actual conversation with other people and really get into it for about 30 minutes or so, I'm thinking. Yeah.
And we'll make that available at the lowest dollar tier as well. So, and we don't know for sure when we're going to put this into place. This is just, it's a strategy for this year. One of the things that we really want to do to help grow our channel is one thing that we're really focusing on, and this is something that we ask of you guys, is if you like what we talk about on these streams, and you like the topics that we're discussing, or you just like the general demeanor of what we do here, be sure to share this with your friends, because that's what we want to look forward to here is growth. Because we notice it's one of the things that we have particular methods or particular outlets that do bring in views that are external to YouTube and Google, and Pantheon Plus being the primary one. Thank you for that, Minus, and your team.
Thank you, Minus.
But we would love to have video shares, and that's one thing that we don't really see very much of is this being shared on YouTube, or excuse me, Twitter and Facebook like it does. And for those of you guys that are here and you do broadcast or share that for us, we are super grateful for you doing that. Please continue to do that, but also encourage those people that have viewed your content or retweeted to, again, do that again, because the more eyes that we reach, the more encouragement, or ears too, the more encouragement we have to continue doing what we do here. And that's really been the big thing. I mean, I'll be honest, like there have been times where we would put out content that was extremely produced and it was a very well thought out video, and when it was released, it got 100, 150 views. We have an entire Warframe series that went out that saw maybe 600 views total, and it's like, what, 5 or 6 videos, Def?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's went up, but it's been a long time.
It's been up for a very long time, but there's still very little views, so.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry about that. I am cracking open a cold one.
Oh, it's green zebra?
If you're still here, man, thank you for these green zebras. They're excellent, and I am actually going to enjoy libations on stream for once.
Oh, shout out to Drax. He has been sharing our content and stuff.
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
He made that gif of me that cracked me up. So since you're here, Drax, thank you for that, man. I was like, what? I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw that. And I'm like, dude, someone made a gif of me. And it just kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, you seemed really surprised, man.
Yeah, I was like, people still watch our content? We haven't been doing anything.
So, oh, man. And you guys are awesome, man, for sticking here. Every single one of you guys that are here, we did not expect, I didn't expect even 10 people to show up tonight. So thank you for being here. You guys are friends, many of you, and, friends and acquaintances that we have met, and loyal fans of ours that we've had conversations with in our other Discords and other content creators comment sections and our content comment sections and stuff like that. So thank you guys for being here for us.
Much love.
You want to talk about a little bit about some of the games that we've been playing while we've been off, and maybe just talk a little bit about your thoughts around like what we've been up to and maybe why we've been up to it?
Well, we mentioned Destiny 2 earlier, and that was just, I think Destiny 2 is kind of like a quick game sesh.
Yeah.
I say that, but hours go by and you're just like shooting stuff and you're like, oh, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I probably should go to bed.
Yep. I know all about that.
But, that's been a lot of fun. It's kind of a twist. It's got everything that I personally like for my time. I want to be, if I want to get stuff done in adult, Destiny 2 is my style of game. Paladins, been playing that. We got Ben and Z in the chat tonight. We play a couple of rounds with them a lot. Other than that, we really haven't played a lot of games.
Yeah,
have we?
I'm kind of in this spot where I don't really feel like playing anything. Go ahead.
Deep Rock. What is it called?
Oh, Rockin' Stone.
Rockin' Stone. What is it called?
Deep Rock Galactic, man. If you guys are into Vermintide, you're into looter shooters, like you're into that sort of survival.
If you're into dwarves. I mean, love dwarves, download the game. Is it free? It's not free. It's cheap though, right?
It's super cheap when they throw it on sale. It's like $20, man. And Deep Rock Galactic is amazing, and they constantly update. They've got an active community in their Discord. I believe it's still rated overwhelmingly positive right now.
It is a blast, especially if you got a group of friends.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you guys get it, let us know. I'll be down for, doing some mining.
Maybe we could do some after hours or something with that. That would be fun.
Yeah, after party.
We played WoW Classic a little bit.
Oh,
Shout out real quick to Dirty Casuals and the Standing and Fire crew. I'm sorry I bailed on you guys, and I had fun though. And eventually I just realized WoW was not my thing, and I'm sorry I didn't let you guys know that I stopped playing.
I didn't let anyone know.
We hope you're still having fun though. We hope you're enjoying World of Warcraft Classic and your WoW subs. We won't hate on that. It got to this point where it was like, I don't really want to raid. And then I got to the point where I was like, oh, I forgot I have raid. And then I got to the point where it was like, oh, I forgot I had raid last night.
Yeah.
And I just got so busy with the computer stuff that, I stopped with the World of Warcraft Classic. So I did get to do Molten Core raiding and Onyxia, and I got fairly well geared and got to really experience what it was like to be a mage. Really had a good time for a period, but it just got to the point where the time investment was a bit too much to handle.
The coolest thing for me is we had a lot of people, right? We had what, 7 people come back and want to play?
Yeah.
I'm not going to name them all, but that was the coolest thing to me. We had a full group of like our OG friends, and that was like, I don't know, hopeful, because the game is only as fun when you're doing it with your friends.
Absolutely.
And but I don't want to go too far into this because there is a future video I plan on doing that talks about this very thing.
Okay.
So I don't want to say what it is, but there will be a video coming out probably in the next month or two. Discussing emulators and WoW Classic and games like that. But Drax, I'm with you, bro. I didn't max out. I got level 53?
51.
Oh, man, I suck. I got 51, bro, and then I was like,
I think once you start to see the interest waning. Yeah, anyway, I won't. Yeah, let's save that for a video because I did get some raid content recorded, and I did want to. There's another video that talks about WoW and its relevancy and things like that I was considering doing as well. That we were talking about. We got clips and stuff for it. So, yeah. So to kind of wrap things up, I know this is kind of a short meat and potatoes here, or meat and taters, whatever. But we didn't really have. We just kind of wanted to tell you guys what we were doing, showcase that we were back. This will probably last about an hour and 15, but we're shooting for like hour and a half stream at the most with the new format. And we do still have a few more segments to go through here at the end. So to wrap things up here, and in short, we're going to be doing Battle Axe Live every Monday nights. Those will be recorded and be set to, they will be available as a VOD on Wednesday or Thursday later on in the week. The podcast will go up, I think Tuesday is what we agreed on. And we're going to start with Anchor FM, which apparently has the ability to push them out. And we'll have more information in the future. So I mean, we're not really clearly addressing people who would be listening through podcast format right now. But we are going to kind of change that direction a little bit, and we will be addressing that as well when we do present certain topics and things like that. You have anything else you want to add to this, Def?
Well, we're getting close to 1,000 subs.
Yeah.
So any ideas? I don't know if you guys watch our videos. If you guys want, should we do a special video for 1,000 subs? Do you care? But like Punk was saying earlier, share our content, please. It means a lot. It kind of lifts our spirits. And if you do that, we might reach 1,000 subs someday, So, but thanks for, anybody watching the VOD, thank you for subbing. Thanks for listening. Thanks for making it this far.
Yeah, it's been pretty awesome. And we've gotten a lot of subs since we just put out the Project Gorgon and the Final Fantasy videos. I'm really grateful that those videos that we put up have maintained enough interest that they've kept people coming back and subscribing for the last 5 or 6 months.
Right. Yeah, it was nice doing nothing and getting subs. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, we still kept up with the channel and things like that and tried to keep in touch with people. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I think we'll be hitting 1,000 subs before we know it. And we want to know, what do you guys want us to do? Do you want us to do some sort of challenge? Do you want us to do some sort of special video? I mean, obviously, we're going to be like, thank you guys so much for subscribing to us. But I don't know. What?
Nothing, man. That audible chocolate.
Chris Kane says, do more reviews of My Little Pony Rainbow Road Trip. I'll have to check that out,
Kane's
Chris.
in the chat.
Yeah. And Chris.
Oh, what's up, bro?
We had a conversation in Discord one night, and I don't know if you'd be willing to come on and have a conversation on the on Bat Live, but we all were talking about a topic relating to where MMOs really should be taking advantage of AI and things like that, and what the perfect MMO would be. So maybe you can come on some point in the near future. We can have that discussion. But it's good to see you, man. Thanks.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. What if... Okay, no, this is a dumb idea. I probably had too many beers.
We should save your ideas. We should tweet it out and maybe do a poll at some point.
I think I got a good idea. Okay.
We should wait till we hit like 950 because the YouTube algorithm likes to make us think that we're close to a milestone and then start taking subs away from us for like 2 weeks. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and then 2 weeks go by and we're like, how the fuck did we get 30 subs?
Yeah, it's interesting. And those of you who have been through that know exactly how that is. So, all right, so we're going to move on to our last couple segments. As some of you may have known, we've tweeted out about this. We have been doing we are going to be going forward doing some really cool stuff where you can get in touch with us. I don't know that we're ever going to really go live with this because the filtering thing could be an issue if there's some sort of troll out there and wants to, really hurt our channel. But we will be doing, we will have the ability for you to communicate with us and leave us voicemails and texts. And that leads us on to our next segment. Oh man, this is such a juicy rant topic.
I'm sorry.
Hello?
But the person you called
Hello?
has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye.
Oh, what the hell, guys?
Voicemail, texts, and assholes.
Yeah, so there you have it.
We're so dumb. We quit, guys.
Dude, we had so much fun making some of these segments, just sitting here like... Dude, your news segment it's got me.
Oh, man, I'm dumb.
So we were sitting here and we're like, dude, we need to have a way, like we can get a Google Voice for free. People could like text us and leave us voicemails, and it'd be really good to get some rants or just get some things that people want to talk about a little bit, and they just want to say, and that's pretty cool. So we put it into play, and then I was like, you know what? We're inevitably gonna get somebody who's a dick. So I was like, let's just call it voicemail, texts, and assholes.
Yep.
and it works out. So we did get a couple of texts from you guys. No voicemails that I see. We would love to hear your voices. If you do text in or you leave a voicemail and you want us to shout you out on, like we'll read your things or whatever. But if you want us to shout you out directly, let us know who you are and how you'd like to be shouted out, so we can give you guys that credit. The first one that I want to read here, Def, is from somebody who's near and dear to us. And the text, it says, bitches.
That was me. That was me. I didn't sign my name. I'm sure it worked.
Oh, shit. We got another one. It says, new phone, who dis?
Okay. Don't know who they are. They didn't sign it.
Do you want to read the one... You want to grab another one of these that we have?
Someone said, "You guys fucking rock, and Def, I hope your bicep is better." Also, I always enjoy hearing. That was from our boy Z, I believe.
Oh, okay.
'Cause he's already told me he hopes my bicep is better. I don't know if you guys saw our latest video, but I kind of blew a bicep.
Yeah, it blew that bicep, doing 1,000 curls, right?
1007.
1,007. Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Got 7 over last time.
Yep. It's tough.
Dougie says, let me read Dougie's real quick. He says,
Okay.
give us one of your favorite raid night stories. He also says, Yo quiero Taco Bell. Yo quiero? Yo quiero. Sorry. Sorry.
I'll read Ben's. Our boy Benjamin. What does he go by? Big Spike 420.
Big Dick Ben?
There you go. Big Dick Ben says, glad you guys are back in action. I'm staying up past my bedtime just to watch. # worth it.
Hell yeah, man.
And
Thanks for supporting us, brother.
Wait, is that it?
There was the anonymous content creator who cares who sent in some information. It's borderline ranty, so I will read that here in just a moment. I want to get back to what Dougie said though. Do you have a favorite raid night experience?
Oh. Man, I think honestly it was under your command, raid leader. And it was when we did the dance fight in Naxxramas, when we finally beat it.
The safety dude, yeah, go ahead.
Nothing compared to doing that. And I would say that the second one would probably it would be Cindergrosa. That was a hard fight to tackle,
yes.
but nothing was more satisfying than the whole team having to shuffle through and winning. That was an awesome night.
So for you non-unlimited folks in the chat, the way it worked is the safety dance. I can't remember the boss, but there's a boss in Naxxramas where you have to stand on quadrants and avoid getting hit by this green goo that comes up. We tried for months. For weeks to beat the fight, just to beat the fight. And we had somebody that was playing who was in the military and he was in Afghanistan at the time. So he had a high latency, and we had 2 other people that had really crappy internet connections. So we just couldn't get the fight down. And the one time that we actually beat the fight, the first time we beat the fight, we got the safety dance, which requires, it's an achievement where nobody gets hit by the green goo. So that was pretty impressive. So yeah, that was a good raid night. I forgot about that. Thanks, man.
Dude, that's one of my. I mean, I have several back in my EQ days, but that is probably one of my top 5. And Hagen the Unclean.
Yeah, I was about to say that. And so Dougie says it's Hagen the Unclean, which is the
Hagen
bearded, or it could be Hagen. I don't know how to read that shit. The unclean guy, the dude with the thing and the stuff.
In the robe.
So
he had a robe.
Yeah, he did have a robe. My favorite raid night experience, and Z, I hope to God you're still here, because you know exactly what I'm going to say. My boy Z got me back into playing World of Warcraft, and I came back for Legion. And we were raiding whatever the Nightfall place is. I didn't really care enough to remember any of that. But anyway, we're fighting the spellcaster that was in the courtyard, summons all of the ads. And Z had a couple, and he was tanking on his DK, and then that time came, and his immediate reaction, because he's so used to, shit gets off of me, let me death grip it to me, he mass death grips all of the ads. And the thing is, if you've done that fight,
I see his chat.
you know that you want them to be separated out so that way that they don't buff each other and the extra damage doesn't go out. So he death grips all of them to us, and it was an immediate response. The raid leader goes, "Oh no, Z, you didn't. You did." And he didn't. He wasn't even mad. He was just like, "Yeah, that just happened."
I wasn't there for that, man.
Dude, we fucking wiped. We wiped so fast. But dude, that is one for the history books. That was one of my favorite raid nights.
Is it called Nighthold?
Nighthold. Yes, thank you again, Dougie.
Wow, it just came. No. Oh, he did say it.
Yeah.
It came to me.
It came to you?
It came to me. But Dougie gets credit.
You can have some credit too, since you remembered, but I couldn't remember. But yes, Nighthold. And that was was a pretty enjoyable raid. I had fun there. So the last voicemail I want to read, because this is borderline rant. So you're going to take care of the rant, and I'm going to take care of this one, right?
All right, let's do it.
I've got a major problem. I was hoping that you guys could use your platform to spread some awareness of something extraordinarily important. The more I've spent time in the Pantheon community, the more I've seen an infestation of the types of players we are not looking to have within our community. These types of players are condescending, they make fun of people's size, and are generally snooty in their nature. I am, of course, speaking of the elves. Hold on, I gotta find my place here. The most toxic being to exist in Pantheon. They look down upon everybody with their pointy ears and their abnormal height. Yeah, well, while sitting around enjoying fine wine and achieving nothing. I think it is important that we try to ensure that players do not fall for their lure, and in fact do everything in their power to prevent themselves from becoming one of them. While I agree that violence is not always the answer, I do believe the only thing that we can do is raise arms against them, ensure that a proper genocide prevents their snooty and infectious toxicity from running rampant within the community. I ask the community to stand up against the elves and collect their ears upon a necklace, showing you that you will not be bullied, looked down upon, or made to feel insignificant by the likes of the elves. Thank you for your time. An anonymous content creator who cares. P.S. Halflings rule.
I wonder who that was.
Yeah, I wonder. So yeah, thank you for those texts, guys. Feel free to shoot some of those, and we'll have the information up at the end of the stream. Thank you for the text. Feel free to leave a voicemail. Voicemails we could potentially play live on stream too, which will be a lot of fun. So spread the word that that's something that we're going to be doing now, because I'm curious to see how that can develop. So are you ready for the last segment, bro?
Let's go into our next segment, and let's just roll it. The feel, and holy shit! And for the love of all the gods that have ever existed, son of a bitch!
She turns into a
Edit.
dragon.
And you're holding up the group, Larry. God! Let's just get into it. Okay, so we did get a rant. I was hoping we would get a rant. Now, it came in through text, and this is from Drax Attack. So I'm going to read his rant. Let me get in position here. 1 second. All right. Let's do this. I am so sick and tired of people complaining about the slow combat speed of Pantheon. Every MMO in the last 10 years have been an action-oriented button masher. Go play Black Desert. Pantheon Rise of the Fallen is the one game with tactical combat feel. Leave it alone. That was from Drax Attacks. Good rant, buddy. We actually did a video on why we don't play modern MMOs, and I kind of went off on that same subject there.
Yeah. Do you have more that you want to say about that?
Well, I want to rate the rant. I think we should give these rants a rating. Because I think going forward, since this is I think we're only going to do one rant an episode.
Yeah.
Or should we do two? Or
we're probably going to do the one rant per episode.
Keep it short. Keep the show short.
Yeah, and also, it gives us some to bank for future readings as well. So, and it keeps the segment short.
Let's see. I give it. Let's see. 4 old school emulators out of.
4 out of 5 old school emulators.
Yeah.
It's pretty hardcore, man.
I mean, that's a high rating. I'm not gonna go that easy, but I mean, I feel it. I feel it. It's got that feel within me.
That feel.
I mean, I'm tired of just, like, and doing your rotation as fast as you can and having the big dig deeps.
Dude, I mean, and that's what it comes down to. I actually saw Dark Legacy Comics, a webcomic. I don't know if you're familiar with them. I don't know if the viewers are familiar with them. They just did a comic that highlights that all these procs with this new system that they have in place. It shows the dude's damage meters, and it's all these different procs, and like the 6th line is damage you actually tried to do. So it was all just crap from their weapons. So just something to check out. Dark Legacy Comics. You can Google that up and find them. But I love their comics. I'm not really into WoW anymore, but I still read their comics every week when they come out. But dude, this fucking topic right now, like, this is the problem with the MMO like culture, right? Like, everybody wants every other MMO to have what other MMOs have. And the thing is like, it's okay to have different MMOs. It's okay to have different styles of MMOs. It's okay to have, different feature sets. And that's one of the biggest things that really annoys me. Like, why? Like, you've got BDO, which is just button mashing combos. You've got Terra, which is basically a 1-button spacebar auto combo system. And then you've got ESO and various other games that use an action targeting system, which I dig. And it's okay for the. Uh-oh. Am I still roboting?
You're good now. Now. But you said BDO, ESO, I think you mentioned.
Yes.
And were you going to say Guild Wars 2?
I was. Hold on one moment.
Uh-oh. Punk has turned into a robot.
Sorry.
You're good.
What is happening?
Are we back?
I don't know.
Are we back, guys?
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, I'm here.
You're there. I'm here. Guys, give us just 1 second. This thing like screwed off. I got to restart another OBS application.
Hey, guys.
Just a second. There we go. We're back. Okay. We're here. I'm so sorry about that. I have no idea what's going on there.
You said it, dude. You said this is going to be our first stream back. There's going to be a couple of mispressed buttons and stuff. And the whole stream went pretty smooth.
Well,
until now.
I got a new switch that came in today. So if it's an internal issue, we'll take care of that. I also didn't reboot anything like I said I was going to before we started. But anyway, what the fuck were we talking about?
Button mashing games. You mentioned BDO, ESO. I think you were going to say Guild Wars 2. I hope you don't.
But... Yeah, I mean Guild Wars 2. And I'm not saying that they're all button mashers in a certain sense, but they are. Like they're different, right? And what I'm saying is it's okay for that to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can think that most hardcore MMO players still wouldn't mind playing those styles once in a while for fun.
I for one, forgot about how good Guild Wars 2 combat system was.
Dude, I really enjoyed it.
I was playing through all my characters and how your main attack would automatically alternate depending on how many times you clicked it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was cool. That's something that's different while you're waiting on your main rotation to come off cooldown. Well, instead of just hitting auto attack, you're hitting your main attack and it's doing combos as you synergize that into your cooldown. I forgot about that and I was like, holy shit, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed that. Dougie says Terra Combat would be good with a little more rotational complexity and more punishing damage done to players, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it just seemed kind of weird. Like, you could strategically set up your own combos, but then you're basically just hitting spacebar to execute them. So, I mean, I don't know. But the game was beautiful, and it was kind of fun just to see your character just wrecking shop. Like, it's fun. So, and BDO was the same way. Like, you were executing combos, but let's be honest, most of us who only played it for a month or so didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We were just mashing keyboard buttons and watching our character flip around and cast spells and do combos. What's happening?
I saw the scream. I didn't hear it.
Damn it.
Oh, you're back.
I am, and there you are.
Okay.
I think this is trying to tell us we need to wrap it up, bro.
Yep.
So let's do this. Let's go ahead and move over to wrap it up.
The bill, and
Man, I said so much cool shit just now.
Wait.
They didn't hear any of that.
You were talking that whole time?
Yeah, I had
and none of that got into
Not.
the stream?
So what I was saying was it's really nice to be part of this community and to grow with everybody. And even though we are not Pantheon 100%, we are able to do our own thing, but we still get a lot of love from the Pantheon community. Renfail's in chat now from Saga of Leucemia. We've got all of our friends in the content creator community. Our real life friends are here with us. Thank you all for coming out and showing your support tonight. Sorry for any technical snafus. We are going to get some of this ironed out in the future once we get our stream deck and stuff like that. So we hope you guys enjoyed this new format. If you have any suggestions, text them to us, let us know, whatnot. Be sure to check us out on social media. We do have a Twitter that Def tries to be very active on, and a Facebook that I need to get better on being active on, because not a lot of people really care about the Facebook channel. So if you are a Facebook user, be sure to like and support and share it with your friends, and we'll try to start posting some stuff there too. It might be duplicate from what comes over from Twitter, but we do know some people do use Facebook exclusively. And most importantly, if you are interested in joining in the conversation at BattleAxTheater, which has been kind of quiet lately, so we'd love if you guys popped in there and had a little chat. Check us out on Discord. The link is in the description, and we'd love to have you guys in there and kind of give us your feedback and just hang out with the community, and hopefully we can get people playing some games together and that sort of thing. And Def, what's our new number again? I know it's on screen, but I don't know for how long.
It is I got three monitors. 725-333-2285. It doesn't that say whatever 725 is in Death Battle?
I think something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So 725 Death Battle, BATL, I think. But I want to kind of just echo you a little bit and say thank you everybody that came out tonight. I mean, dude, we love you. That's awesome. Didn't expect a big turnout because we've been gone for so long. That's our fault. And just thanks for the support, and share our stuff in the future. We're gonna have some fun things coming out in the future. a lot of cool ideas that are down the pipeline. So just thank you for coming out tonight, and we'll work on all the kinks on Bat Live, and we'll get back in the groove like we used to be.
So to piggyback off of that, if you guys aren't following Saga of Leucemia, be sure to check out Saga of Leucemia. We've got some really fun stuff coming up with them through toward the end of the month and next month. Big things are happening in that department, and we're really looking forward to that. Join us next week. We're going to talk a little bit about grinding, and grinding not specifically in MMOs, but multiplayer games, and kind of what the place of grinding is, and issues that we might have and things that we also don't mind. So we're going to talk a little bit about grinding next week.
The good and the bad in grinding.
And the last 2 weeks of the month, we are going to have Renfail on to talk a little bit about what Saga has been up to and what they've been doing in development. And then we're going to have a follow-up stream where we talk a little bit about indie game dev, MMO dev in general, and talk about some of the challenges that come along with that, in case anybody's curious how that goes. And hopefully sometime in the future, we can have one of the devs come on and talk to us a little bit about Unity and how it works with an MMORPG, and from its little nuanced perspective. So that's something that to look forward to in the future. And then we've also got hopefully there'll be some fun things coming up. I don't know what all we can talk about with Saga, but some fun stuff coming up in April as well, as we kind of focus on that a little bit. And then of course Def and I have talked, and we do want to pick up some Pantheon topics again here in the near future, because things have changed a lot since the last time we covered Pantheon, right, Def?
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
All right, so that wraps it up. Thanks again, everybody. Do you have any other thoughts, Def?
Nope, you guys are freaking awesome though. Sorry for yelling into the mic, but yeah.
Well, until next week, we'll see you guys later.
Later.